In the first half of the game, really for the first 10 in particular, SU looked a little bit sluggish and almost a little bit nervous because this is the Syracuse-Georgetown rivalry. And it felt like a big one considering you have two new head coaches coming in. But the second half, oh man, it just looked like a completely different team. Yes, the loss to Northern Illinois was awful, as was almost falling to Holy Cross. But Boston College's season appears back on track, backed by an impressive 15-point win at Georgia Tech last week. A UConn team that no one is afraid of whatsoever is a layup to keep that momentum going. Daunting, a gauntlet, murderer's row. The Orange didn't find success against the Tigers nor the Tar Heels, and today, down at Doak Campbell Stadium, a 41-3 beatdown at the hands of the fourth-ranked Seminoles. That established the Big Ten and the SEC as the two big powerhouses of collegiate athletics. But if you ask SU head football coach Gino Babers, you can't sleep on the ACC. Judah Mintz, J.J. Starling, and Quadir Copeland, three guards, combined for 60 points in SU's 80-68 triumph over Georgetown here at the Capital One Arena. After the game, Mintz remarked that you don't usually see teams with three guards that can score with an offensive spark, but the 'Cuse has that weapon. While Mintz's long-term goal may be the NBA, his focus is simple. Get Syracuse back to the NCAA tournament and back on the path to being one of the best teams in the country. Let's rewind back to 1960. Elvis Presley and Brenda Lee are topping the charts, Spartacus hits the box office, and Syracuse football is 4-0 for the second straight season with Ernie Davis roaming the backfield.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
The World Series matchup is set. Welcome into sports. I'm William Griffin. The Rangers punched their ticket on Monday out of the AL. Last night, the Phillies and Diamondbacks fought for spot number 2 in the NL. We'll pick it up in the second inning. Philadelphia trailing Arizona 1-0. Not for long, though. After this bomb from Alec Boehm, knew at the moment he hit it to tie the game at 1. Bottom 4 now. Bryson Stott, Phillies second baseman, laces a double into the left center field gap. Runner coming in from first is Alec Boehm. He scores easily. Phillies got momentum, up 2-1. Not so fast, says Corbin Carroll, Arizona's rookie outfielder. First rookie with 3 hits in a Game 7 since Dustin Pedroia 16 years ago. That tied the game at 2. This gives Arizona the lead. A ribby single from Gabby Moreno. Look at Carroll run to give Arizona a lead. It would not relinquish. Final out right here. Diamondbacks and Rangers in the World Series. Arizona's first trip to the Fall Classic since 2001. Transitioning to the Hill, Syracuse football is back on the field after its bye tomorrow night. 11 days will have passed in between contests for the Orange. The benefits of the week off aren't exclusive to not having a game. If you ask head coach Dino Babers, it provides a good mental refresh for his players.
We should see the better side, the better side of a lot of guys that haven't had an opportunity to rest. And the other thing is there's rest away from the coaches too. I mean, we practiced one time last week, and those guys had a big long weekend where they can go home and see their families if they live close enough. And then we brought them back. We went Sunday and we went today, which is the reason why I'm dressed like this.
Even though the Orange have been on the practice field for the past few days, it's still a short week. SU hasn't played a regular season game on a Thursday since October of 2019. Will that have a negative impact on Syracuse's play? We don't have to wait much longer to find out. Kickoff from Blacksburg is at 7:30. Our Ethan Frank will have you covered on X at Ethan G. Frank throughout the contest. Elsewhere on the Hill, basketball season draws even nearer. The SU men's team is gearing up for its first exhibition game on Friday against Division II Damon. Even though the big show that is the regular season is still a few weeks away, head coach Adrian Autry already has a vision for what he wants to see on the floor.
My philosophy is sharing the basketball, playing together. Obviously, I think we have we'll have the ability to put 4, sometimes maybe 5 guys out on the floor that could dribble, pass, and shoot. I think the biggest thing that we, whatever we do, we want to be able to have the correct spacing for.
Autry's squad can put its spacing on display for the first time when it welcomes Damon to the Dome on Friday at 7. On the women's side, Felicia Leggett-Jack's team doesn't have an exhibition until Halloween night next Tuesday at 5. But if you're looking to watch some hoops tonight, have no fear. Both New York NBA teams begin their season in just a little bit. Starting in Brooklyn, the Nets host the Cavaliers at 7:30 tonight. Both of these teams saw their season come to an end in the first round of the playoffs last year. The Knicks face an even tougher test. They host the Celtics at the top of the hour. New York is coming off its first trip to the second round in a decade, but This year's Boston squad is widely regarded as one of the favorites to win the title. Jesse and Maddie, I can't lie, that's why I wore the green tie today. The Boston Celtics are going to win the NBA championship this year. You heard it here first.
So that's what Liam's saying. Jesse, what's... oh my goodness. Do we have only one unbiased journalist here tonight?
Unbiased? I mean, they made a run to the conference finals last year, and they're objectively better now.
Well, we'll have to see. But when we return, Luke Radel is in studio with your wake-up weather. Stay with us.
The JMA Wireless Dome. Often referred to as the Loud House, this building is known for having one of the most raucous atmospheres in college football.
The Dome, there's no place like Dome. There's no place like Dome.
The Dome crowd always brings the energy every weekend, not just for football, for lacrosse, for basketball, and it's just a great environment. It's so unique.
The Orange are typically slated to play 7 games inside the Dome each season. Not this one. This past January, news broke that this year's matchup between Syracuse and Pittsburgh wouldn't be in the 315 nor in Western Pennsylvania. The game took place at Yankee Stadium in New York City, and it drew mixed reactions.
I think it's going to be a great environment that we'll create there. We'll show why we're the best school here in Syracuse, New York, and we'll really get the student section out there.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer when we realized our last game versus a student was last weekend. So it's unfortunate not to be able to go see another game in the Dome.
The team is just not good enough that it does not warrant me traveling there to go.
Well, because of the change in scenery, this student section entrance right behind me did not have a line entering Saturday's game because it was played at Yankee Stadium. The change in scenery still drew plenty of Orange fans, and they got to see their team take down Pitt 28-13. Liam Griffin, NCC News.